Welcome to an extraordinary journey through the world of cultural and natural heritage. Today, we unveil the latest additions to the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage List, bringing you a glimpse of our shared human history and the wonders of our planet. Heritage is the precious legacy passed down from our ancestors, shaping our present and guiding our future. It's a harmonious blend of both our cultural treasures and the wonders of the natural world, serving as a wellspring of life and creativity. UNESCO plays a vital role in championing the identification, safeguarding, and preservation of these exceptional cultural and natural treasures worldwide. This noble mission finds its home in the Convention Concerning the Protection of the World Cultural and Natural Heritage, a global treaty adopted by UNESCO back in 1972. What truly sets the concept of World Heritage apart is its inclusivity. These sites, whether they're architectural marvels or ecological wonders, don't belong to a single nation or people. They are a shared heritage for all of humanity. Regardless of where they are geographically situated, World Heritage Sites are the common heritage of our global community. Accordingly, the 45th session of the World Heritage Committee taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia from the 10 to 25 of September has inscribed on Monday 18th of September 2023 the properties located in Lithuania, Turkey, Czechia, Spain, Azerbaijan, Guatemala, Oromia, Ethiopia, Tunisia, India, Indonesia, Russian Federation and France. Let us see the details. 1. Lithuania Modernist Kaunas, Architecture of Optimism, 1919-1939. This property testifies to the rapid urbanization that transformed the provincial town of Kaunas into a modern city that became Lithuania's provisional capital between the First and Second World Wars. Its community-driven transformation of an urban landscape was adapted from an earlier town layout. The quality of modern Kaunas was manifested through the spatial organization of the Naujiemistas, New Town, and Žalia Kaunas, Green Hill, areas, and in public buildings, urban spaces and residences constructed during the interwar period that demonstrate a variety of styles in which the modern movement found architectural expression in the city. 2. Turkey, Gordian. Located in an open rural landscape, the archaeological site of Gordian is a multi-layered ancient settlement, encompassing the remains of the ancient capital of Phrygia, an Iron Age independent kingdom. The key elements of this archaeological site include the citadel mound, the lower town, the outer town and fortifications, and several burial mounds and tumuli with their surrounding landscape. Archaeological excavations and research have revealed a wealth of remains that document construction techniques, spatial arrangements, defensive structures, and inhumation practices that shed light on Phrygian culture and economy. 3. Czechia Žatec and the landscape of Sars hops. This cultural landscape has been shaped for centuries by the living tradition of cultivating and trading the world's most renowned hop variety, used in beer production around the globe. The property includes particularly fertile hop fields near the river Ora that have been farmed continuously for hundreds of years, as well as historic villages and buildings used for processing hops. Urban elements of the property include the medieval center of Žatec and its 19th to 20th century industrial extension, known as the Prague suburb, Pražské předměstí. Together, these illustrate the evolution of the agro-industrial processes and socio-economic system of growing, drying, certifying and trading hops from the late Middle Ages to the present. 4. Spain Prehistoric sites of Talayotic Menorca. Located on the island of Menorca in the western Mediterranean Sea, these archaeological sites are situated in agro-pastoral landscapes. A testimony to the occupation of the island by prehistoric communities, these sites display a diversity of prehistoric settlements and burial places. The materials, forms and locations of structures dating from the Bronze Age, 1600 BCE, to the Late Iron Age, 123 BCE, show the evolution of a Cyclopean architecture built with very large blocks of stone. 5. Azerbaijan cultural landscape of Kinilig people and Koch Yolu, transhumance route. This cultural landscape is comprised of the high mountain Kinilig village in northern Azerbaijan, high-altitude summer pastures and agricultural terraces in the Greater Caucasus Mountains, winter pastures in the lowland plains in central Azerbaijan, and the connecting 200 km-long seasonal transhumance route called Koch Yolu, migration route. The village of Kinilig is home to the semi-nomadic Kinilig people, whose culture and lifestyle are defined by the seasonal migration between summer and winter pastures, and who retain the ancient way of long-distance vertical transhumance. The organically evolved network including ancient routes, temporary pastures and camping sites, mausoleums, and mosques illustrates a sustainable eco-social system adapted to extreme environmental conditions. 6. Guatemala National Archaeological Park Tacalacabai. Tacalacabai is an archaeological site located on the Pacific coast of Guatemala. Its 1,700-year history spans a period that saw the transition from the Olmec civilization to the emergence of early Mayan culture. Tacalacabai had a primary role in this transition, in part because it was vital to the long-distance trade route that connected the Isthmus of Tehuantepec in today's Mexico to present-day El Salvador. Ideas and customs were shared extensively along this route. Sacred spaces and buildings were laid out according to cosmological principles, and innovative water management systems, ceramics, and lapidary art can be found. Today, indigenous groups of different affiliations still consider the site a sacred place and visit it to perform rituals. 7. Ethiopia Bale Mountains National Park. Located in the state of Oromia in Ethiopia, this property protects a landscape mosaic of extraordinary beauty that is shaped by the combined forces of ancient lava outpourings, glaciation and the dissection by the Great Rift Valley. It features volcanic peaks and ridges, dramatic escarpments, sweeping valleys, glacial lakes, lush forests, deep gorges and numerous waterfalls, creating exceptional natural beauty. The property harbors diverse and unique biodiversity at ecosystem, species and genetic levels, and 5 major rivers originate within the park, estimated to supply water and support the livelihoods of millions of people in and beyond Ethiopia. 8. Tunisia Jerba. This serial property is a testimony to a settlement pattern that developed on the island of Jerba around the 9th century CE amidst the semi-dry and water-scarce environment. Low density was its key characteristic. It involved the division of the island into neighborhoods, clustered together, that were economically self-sustainable, connected to each other and to the religious and trading places of the island, through a complex network of roads. Resulting from a mixture of environmental, socio-cultural and economic factors, the distinctive human settlement of Jerba demonstrates the way local people adapted their lifestyle to the conditions of their water-scarce natural environment. 9. India Sacred Ensembles of the Hoysalas. This serial property encompasses the 3 most representative examples of Hoysala-style temple complexes in southern India, dating from the 12th to 13th centuries. The Hoysala style was created through careful selection of contemporary temple features and those from the past to create a different identity from neighboring kingdoms. The shrines are characterized by hyper-real sculptures and stone carvings that cover the entire architectural surface, a circumambulatory platform, a large-scale sculptural gallery, a multi-tiered frieze, and sculptures of the Sala legend. The excellence of the sculptural art underpins the artistic achievement of these temple complexes, which represent a significant stage in the historical development of Hindu temple architecture. 10. Indonesia The cosmological axis of Yogyakarta and its historic landmarks. The central axis of Yogyakarta was established in the 18th century by Sultan Mangkubumi, and has continued from that time as a center of government and Javanese cultural traditions. The 6-kilometer north-south axis is positioned to link Mount Merapi and the Indian Ocean, with the Kraton Palace at its center, and key cultural monuments lining the axis to the north and south that are connected through rituals. It embodies key beliefs about the cosmos in Javanese culture, including the marking of the cycles of life. 11. Russian Federation Astronomical Observatories of Kazan. The property is comprised of 2 component parts, one in the historical center of Kazan and the other in a forested suburban area west of the city. The Kazan City Astronomical Observatory, built in 1837, is located on the university campus, and the building is characterized by a semicircular facade and 3 towers with domes built to house astronomical instruments. The suburban Engelhart Astronomical Observatory includes structures for sky observations and residential buildings, all located within a park. 12. France The Maison Carrée of Nîmes. Erected in the 1st century CE in the Roman colony of Nemesis, today's Nîmes in France, the Maison Carrée is an early example of a Roman temple associated with imperial worship in the provinces of Rome. Dedicated to the prematurely deceased heirs of Augustus, the princes of youth, this edifice fostered Rome's control over its conquered territory while symbolically announcing the allegiance of the population of the city of Nemesis to the dynastic line of Augustus. The architecture and elaborate decoration symbolically communicated the ideological program of Augustus, who transitioned ancient Rome from republic to empire. On Sunday the 17th of September, the committee inscribed properties located in Palestine, Tajikistan-Turkmenistan-Uzbekistan corridor, Azerbaijan-Iran corridor, Ethiopia, Benin-Togo corridor, Cambodia, Mongolia, Republic of Korea, China, India, Iran, Canada, Denmark, Germany and Latvia. Let us see the details. 13. Palestine Ancient Jericho, Tel es Sultan. Located in the Jordan Valley, the property is an oval-shaped tell, or mound, that contains the prehistorical deposits of human activity, and includes the adjacent perennial spring of An es Sultan. A permanent settlement had emerged here by the 9th to 8th millennium BC, due to the fertile soil of the oasis and easy access to water. Skulls and statues found on the site testify to cultic practices amongst the Neolithic populations living there, and the early Bronze Age archaeological material shows signs of urban planning. Vestiges from the Middle Bronze Age reveal the presence of a large Canaanite city-state occupied by a socially complex population. 14. Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan Zarafshan-Karakum corridor. The Zarafshan-Karakum corridor is a key section of the Silk Roads in Central Asia that connects other corridors from all directions. Located in rugged mountains, fertile river valleys, and uninhabitable desert, the 866 km corridor runs from east to west along the Zarafshan River and further southwest following the ancient caravan roads crossing the Karakum Desert to the Merv Oasis. Channeling much of the east-west exchange along the Silk Roads from the 2nd century BCE to the 16th century CE, a large quantity of goods was traded along the corridor. People traveled, settled, conquered, or were defeated here, making it a melting pot of ethnicities, cultures, religions, sciences, and technologies. 15. Azerbaijan, Iran Hyrcanian Forests Extension. The new component parts of Dangiband and Isti-Suchi Valley, Azerbaijan, contain highly valuable ancient forests belonging to the Hyrcanian forests and complement the already inscribed component parts in Iran. The Hyrcanian forests form a unique forested massif that stretches along the southern coast of the Caspian Sea, with a history dating back 25 to 50 million years. The newly inscribed elements comprise full ecosystems including top predators such as leopard, wolf and brown bear, and the forest has a high degree of rare and endemic tree species. The oldest trees seen here are 300,400 years old, with some possibly up to 500 years old. 16. Ethiopia, the Gedeo cultural landscape. The property lies along the eastern edge of the main Ethiopian rift, on the steep escarpments of the Ethiopian highlands. An area of agroforestry, it utilizes multi-layer cultivation with large trees sheltering indigenous enset, the main food crop, under which grow coffee and other shrubs. The area is densely populated by the Gedeo people whose traditional knowledge support local forest management. Within the cultivated mountain slopes are sacred forests traditionally used by local communities for rituals associated with the Gedeo religion, and along the mountain ridges are dense clusters of megalithic monuments, which came to be revered by the Gedeo and cared for by their elders. 17. Benin, Togo Kutamaku, the land of the Batamariba, extension of Kutamaku, the land of the Batamariba, Togo, inscribed in 2004. This property is an extension to the Kutamaku landscape in northeastern Togo, inscribed in 2004, home to the Batamariba. The extension to the site lies in neighboring Benin and embodies the characteristic and original land use of the Batamariba, whose dwellings are known as Takienta, Sikian in the plural. Groves, springs and sacred rocks, terraced slopes and networks of water-retaining walls, and forests and plant species used in the construction of Sikian, associated with the rituals and beliefs of the Batamariba, also form part of this cultural landscape. 18. Cambodia Ko Ker, archaeological site of ancient Lingapura or Chok Gargya. The archaeological site of Ko Ker is a sacred urban ensemble of numerous temples and sanctuaries including sculptures, inscriptions, wall paintings, and archaeological remains. Constructed over a 23-year period, it was one of two rival Khmer Empire capitals, the other being Angkor, and was the sole capital from 928 to 944 CE. Established by King Jayavarman IV, his sacred city was believed to be laid out on the basis of ancient Indian religious concepts of the universe. The new city demonstrated unconventional city planning, artistic expression and construction technology, especially the use of very large monolithic stone blocks. 19. Mongolia deer stone monuments and related sites of Bronze Age. Located on the slopes of the Khangai Ridge in central Mongolia, these deer stones were used for ceremonial and funerary practices. Dating from about 1200 to 600 BCE, they stand up to 4 meters tall and are set directly in the ground as single standing stones or in groups, and are almost always located in complexes that include large burial mounds called kurgasurs and sacrificial altars. Covered with highly stylized or representational engravings of stags, deer stones are the most important surviving structures belonging to the culture of Eurasian Bronze Age nomads that evolved and then slowly disappeared between the 2nd and 1st millennia BCE. 20. Republic of Korea Gaia tumuli. This serial property includes archaeological cemetery sites with burial mounds attributed to the Gaia Confederacy, which developed in the southern part of the Korean peninsula from the 1st to the 6th century CE. Through their geographical distribution and landscape characteristics, types of burials, and grave goods, the cemeteries attest to the distinctive Gaia political system in which polities existed as autonomous political equals while sharing cultural commonalities. The introduction of new forms of tombs and the intensification of the spatial hierarchy in the tumuli sites reflect the structural changes experienced by Gaia society during its history. 21. China cultural landscape of old tea forests of the Jingmai Mountain in Pu'er. Located on Jingmai Mountain in southwestern China, this cultural landscape was developed over 1,000 years by the Blang and Dai peoples following practices that began in the 10th century. The property is a tea production area comprised of traditional villages within old tea groves surrounded by forests and tea plantations. The traditional understory cultivation of old tea trees is a method that responds to the specific conditions of the mountain's ecosystem and subtropical monsoon climate, combined with a governance system maintained by the local indigenous communities. Traditional ceremonies and festivities relate to the tea ancestor belief that spirits live in the tea plantations and in the local fauna and flora, a belief that is at the core of this cultural tradition. 22. India Santiniketan. Established in rural West Bengal in 1901 by the renowned poet and philosopher Rabindranath Tagore, Santiniketan was a residential school and center for art based on ancient Indian traditions and a vision of the unity of humanity transcending religious and cultural boundaries. A World University was established at Santiniketan in 1921, recognizing the unity of humanity, or Visva Bharati. Distinct from the prevailing British colonial architectural orientations of the early 20th century and of European modernism, Santiniketan represents approaches toward a Pan-Asian modernity, drawing on ancient, medieval and folk traditions from across the region. 23. Islamic Republic of Iran. The Persian caravanserai. Caravanserais were roadside inns, providing shelter, food and water for caravans, pilgrims and other travelers. The routes and the locations of the caravanserais were determined by the presence of water, geographical conditions and security concerns. The 56 caravanserais of the property are only a small percentage of the numerous caravanserais built along the ancient roads of Iran. They are considered to be the most influential and valuable examples of the caravanserais of Iran, revealing a wide range of architectural styles, adaptation to climatic conditions, and construction materials, spread across thousands of kilometers and built over many centuries. Together, they showcase the evolution and network of caravanserais in Iran, in different historical stages. 24. Canada Trondheim Klondike. Located along the Yukon River in the subarctic region of northwest Canada, Trondheim Klondike lies within the homeland of the Trondheim First Nation. It contains archaeological and historic sources that reflect indigenous peoples' adaptation to unprecedented changes caused by the Klondike Gold Rush at the end of the 19th century. The series illustrates different aspects of the colonization of this area, including sites of exchange between the indigenous population and the colonists, and sites demonstrating the Trondheim adaptations to colonial presence. 25. Denmark Viking-Age ring fortresses. These 5 archaeological sites comprise a system of monumental ring-shaped Viking-Age fortresses sharing a uniform geometric design. Constructed between about 970 and 980 CE, the fortresses at Aggersborg, Furkat, Nonnebakken, Trelleborg and Borgring were positioned strategically near important land and sea routes, and each made use of the natural topography of their surrounding landscape for defensive purposes. They are an emblematic demonstration of the centralized power of the Jelling dynasty, and a testimony to the socio-political transformations that the Danish realm underwent in the late 10th century. 26. Germany Jewish Medieval Heritage of Erfurt. Located in the medieval historic center of Erfurt, the capital city of Thuringia, the property comprises 3 monuments: the Old Synagogue, the Mikveh, and the Stone House. They illustrate the life of the local Jewish community and its coexistence with a Christian majority in Central Europe during the Middle Ages, between the end of the 11th and the mid-14th century. 27. Latvia Old Town of Kuldīga. Located in the western part of Latvia, the town of Kuldīga is an exceptionally well-preserved example of a traditional urban settlement, which developed from a small medieval hamlet into an important administrative center of the Duchy of Courland and Semigalia between the 16th and 18th centuries. The town structure of Kuldīga has largely retained the street layout of that period, and includes traditional log architecture as well as foreign-influenced styles that illustrate the rich exchange between local and traveling craftspeople from around the Baltic Sea. The architectural influences and craftsmanship traditions introduced during the period of the duchy endured well into the 19th century. On Saturday 16th of September 2023, the World Heritage Committee inscribed properties located in Congo, Madagascar, Vietnam and France. Let us see the details. 28. Congo Forest Massif of Odzala-Kokowa. This property is an excellent example, at an exceptionally large scale, of the process of post-glacial forest recolonization of savanna ecosystems. It is therefore ecologically significant as a convergence point of multiple ecosystem types: Congolese forest, Lower Guinean forest and savanna. The broad range of age classifications across the forest succession spectrum contributes to the park's highly distinct ecology, incorporating a broad range of remarkable ecological processes. It is one of the most important strongholds for forest elephants in Central Africa, and is recognized as the park with the richest primate diversity in the region. 29. Madagascar Andrefana Dry Forests, extension of Chinji de Bemaraha Strict Nature Reserve, inscribed in 1990. The dry forests of Andrefana is a serial extension of the Chinji de Bemaraha World Heritage Property and consists of 5 protected areas. The new component parts cover almost the full range of ecological and evolutionary variation within the western forests of Madagascar from north to south, including western dry forests and southwestern spiny forest thicket. These additional sites are of extreme importance for conservation as they cover a spectacular array of endemic and threatened biodiversity, including baobabs, flame trees, delinics, as well as unique evolutionary lineages such as the Mesotornithiforms, an order of birds which is 54 million years old. 30. Vietnam Ha Long Bay Ba Archipelago, extension of Ha Long Bay, inscribed in 1994 and extended in 2000. Ha Long Bay, in the Gulf of Tonkin, includes some 1,600 islands and islets, forming a spectacular seascape of limestone pillars. The extension of the property comprises a multitude of limestone islands and towering limestone pillars rising from the sea, with eroded notches, arches and caves creating a picturesque and beautiful landscape. 7 key ecosystem types are found here, and the area is home to threatened endemic species such as the Cat-bar langur, Trachypithecus poliocephalus, the Cat-bar tiger gecko, Goniurosaurus catbyensis, and the Asian small-clawed otter, Onyx cinerea. 31. France volcanoes and forests of Mount Pelée and the Piton of northern Martinique. The global significance of Mount Pelée and Piton du Carbet is based on its representation of volcanic features, materials and processes. The 1902-1905 eruption is considered a key event for the history of volcanology, causing a dramatic impact on St. Pierre town, resulting in a tragic loss of life, and a legacy that remains part of the culture of Martinique. The cereal property is home to globally threatened species such as the Martinique volcano frog, Alobates chalcopus, the Lacipeds ground snake, Erythrolamprus cursor, and the endemic Martinique oriole, Icterus bonana. 32. On Friday 15th of September 2023, the World Heritage Committee inscribed new properties located in Ukraine. The World Heritage Committee decided to inscribe the sites of the St. Sophia Cathedral and related monastic buildings in Lavrov, Kyiv, Peshchsk, and Lviv, the ensemble of the historic center, on the list of World Heritage in danger, due to the threat of destruction the Russian offensive poses. And on Tuesday 12th of September 2023, the World Heritage Committee, which is meeting in Riyadh until the 25th of September, decided to remove the site of the tombs of the Buganda kings in Kasubi, Uganda from the list of World Heritage in danger, following the successful restoration work carried out by Uganda with UNESCO's support. September 20th. 33. Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan cold winter deserts of Turan. This transnational property spans arid areas of Central Asia's temperate zone, stretching from the Caspian Sea to the Turanian high mountains. The region experiences extreme climatic conditions, characterized by frigid winters and scorching summers. Despite these harsh conditions, it boasts a remarkably diverse flora and fauna that have adapted to the challenging environment. It also showcases a wide variety of desert ecosystems, covering over 1,500 kilometers. 34. Saudi Arabia Uruk Bani Ma'arad. Encompassing the western portion of the world's largest wind-blown sand expanse, Rub al-Khali, this property preserves one of the most stunning desert landscapes on Earth. Its diverse topography creates a range of wildlife habitats. The site has successfully reintroduced iconic desert animals like the Arabian oryx and Arabian sand gazelle to their natural habitats after decades of extinction in the wild. The mobile dunes here also provide an exceptional and well-oxygenated habitat for sand-diving invertebrates and reptiles. 35. Tajikistan Tugay forests of the Tigrovaya Balka Nature Reserve. Situated between the Vakh and Panj rivers in southwestern Tajikistan, this property comprises extensive riparian Tugay ecosystems, the sandy Kashka-Kum Desert, the Baritau Peak, and the Hoja Kazian Mountains. Notably, the reserve hosts the largest and most intact Tugay forest of its kind in Central Asia. 36. Rwanda Memorial Sites of the Genocide, Nyamata, Murumbi, Gisozi, and Bisesero. These memorial sites in Rwanda commemorate the tragic events of the Rwandan genocide that occurred between April and July 1994, resulting in the loss of an estimated 1 million lives. 37. Belgium, France Funerary and Memory Sites of the First World War. This transnational serial property encompasses various sites along the western front of World War I, where battles took place between the German and Allied forces from 1914 to 1918. September 19. 38. Portugal Historic Centre of Guimarães and Couros Zone Extension. This extension of the historic centre of Guimarães includes 2 monastic complexes and the industrial Couros Zone, named after the traditional craft of leather tanning. 39. Thailand The ancient town of Si Thep. Comprising 3 component parts, this serial property showcases a twin town site, Khao Klang Nok Ancient Monument, and Khao Thamorat Cave Ancient Monument. These sites offer insights into the architectural, artistic, and religious aspects of the Dvaravati Empire in central Thailand from 6th to 10th centuries, influenced by Indian culture. 40. Netherlands Isinger Planetarium in Franeker. Built by Isa Isinger between 1774 and 1781, this property is a remarkable mechanical scale model of the solar system as understood during that era. Powered by a single pendulum clock, it provides an accurate representation of the Sun, Moon, Earth, and 5 other planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. 41. Turkey wooden hypostyle mosques of medieval Anatolia. Comprising 5 hypostyle mosques built in Anatolia from the late 13th to mid-14th centuries, this serial property features a unique structural system. It combines masonry exteriors with multiple rows of wooden interior columns, hypostyle, supporting flat wooden ceilings and roofs. These mosques are renowned for their skillful wood carving and craftsmanship evident in their structures, fittings, and furnishings. 42. USA Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks. This property includes 8 monumental earthen enclosure complexes constructed 2,000 to 1,600 years ago along the central tributaries of the Ohio River. These earthworks are representative of the Hopewell culture, serving as ceremonial centers. 43. Italy Evaporitic Karst and Caves of Northern Apennines. This serial property features an exceptionally preserved and extensive gypsum karst terrain, including over 900 caves within a relatively compact area, totaling over 100 kilometers of caves. It's the world's first and most extensively studied evaporitic karst, with academic exploration dating back to 16th century. 44. Suriname Joden Savan Archaeological Site. Located along the Suriname River, this serial property sheds light on early Jewish colonization efforts in the New World. The Joden Savan settlement, established in the 1680s, includes the ruins of what's believed to be the earliest architecturally significant synagogue in the Americas. 45. Greece Zagori Cultural Landscape. Nestled in northwestern Greece's remote rural landscape, Zagorachoria consists of small stone villages along the western slopes of the northern Pindus mountain range. These villages, organized around central squares with plane trees and surrounded by sacred forests maintained by local communities. 46. Canada Anticosti. Situated on Quebec's Anticosti Island, this property represents the most complete and well-preserved paleontological record of the first mass extinction of animal life, occurring 447,437 million years ago. It offers the best preserved fossil evidence of marine life spanning 10 million years. 47. Argentina ESMA Museum and Site of Memory. Located within the former Navy School of Mechanics complex in Buenos Aires, this property, in the former officers' quarters, served as Argentina's principal secret detention center of holding, interrogating, torturing, and killing captives during the civil-military dictatorship of 1976-1983. 48. Rwanda Nyungwe National Park. This cereal property plays a vital role in rainforest conservation in Central Africa, boasting intact forests, peat bogs, moors, thickets, and grasslands. It hosts a highly diverse flora and fauna, including unique species like the eastern chimpanzee, golden monkey, and the critically endangered Hill's horseshoe bat. With 12 globally threatened mammal and 7 bird species, Nyungwe National Park is a significant site for bird conservation in Africa. We wrap it with what the UNESCO Director General, Audrey Azoulay, said on Monday 11th of September 2023. All over the world, we are mobilizing to put heritage higher on the public policy agenda. We can draw on the almost universal standard-setting foundation provided by our World Heritage Convention. Since its ratification by Tuvalu last May, the convention now has 195 states parties. We will need this universal base, its letter and its spirit, to meet the challenges ahead. And if you'd like more in-depth information on any of these newly inscribed sites, don't hesitate to ask. Until next time, keep exploring the past and stay curious.